NC Pork. Good for the plate, great for the state.
Well, let's talk about the Big Four, and we'll start off in Chapel Hill with the North Carolina Tar Heels. They'll host Richmond this week at Kenan Stadium after a 20-3 win at Charlotte. Gio Lopez now 2-0 as a starter, building a little bit of confidence. But guys, you both coached at Carolina. I worked at Carolina. All that being said, this team is slow. They are slow, and they are not talented. And that is not surprising to me because anybody with a half-working brain knew that you weren't going to bring in 70 new players, a brand new coaching staff off a team that wasn't worth a darn a year ago, save for Omarion Hampton and a few other guys, and be any good. I mean, it's impressive to watch the meltdown from Tar Heel Nation of people who legitimately in their own minds believe that this team was going to compete for an ACC championship for the first time in a long time.
And I said this a week ago, and Tim, you'll agree with this, and you just said it, that if I'm recruiting 3 tight ends, then I'm going to make sure I get 3 war daddies, because that's how I keep my job, and that's how we stay productive. But let me just say this now. What fans don't understand is we're all better coaches with really good players.
Right.
And you go out and sign 70 new ones, tell me, and I yield to you two guys, tell me of those 70, tell me a guy that was a great player at another place that is now playing for the University of North Carolina. And if you say Gio Lopez, then I'll say maybe. I mean, there's a big difference between South Alabama and
North Carolina.
Got to play right now.
I mean, the school that he's coming from, Major Applewhite, if he really wanted to keep Gio, well, golly, he would have done so. I would have thought, and if it was just a financial thing, a money thing where they just couldn't, North Carolina up the ante to the point where they couldn't match, then I get it, But in most instances, I don't think that you're going to really upgrade yourself unless it's just, like I said, unless it's a pure financial deal.
The QB command, we talked about it a week ago. We thought that maybe Max Johnson was going to get the start because of the injury late in that opening game by Gio Lopez, but Lopez came back and played the entire time. It didn't look like his full command of the playbook was there. Is that because there's a lack of confidence from Freddie Kitchens in the quarterback or in the ability of the wide receivers to stay true to their routes?
Everybody can see that the University of North Carolina is struggling on the offensive side of the ball, and they're struggling from a talent standpoint. I think that there's some things schematically there with the passing game that they need to improve upon in a real hurry because right now, just point blank, they are not a good offensive football team. And Freddie's the play caller, and you love to hope that maybe there's some magic play calls that he can make, and they're going to really, they can really get better and all this and that. But I only think there's so much of that, and Freddie's a veteran, experienced coach, and but as of right now, they're not getting it done.
But it sure did look like Connor Harrell had a pretty easy time at navigating through that Carolina defensive secondary. If not for a few key drops, that could have been a very different game, almost like, Brew, as you'll remember, a year ago in Chapel Hill.
Well, Connor was 25 out of 41 for 250 yards and probably had 4 or 5 drops within that. They struggled in protection to protect him, so he was scrambling around, made some plays with his feet at the same time. I think Carolina made some progress on defense. I still don't see that they're extremely talented. I don't see that they run extremely well overall. I haven't watched them close enough to know about scheme wise and all that, but it's been a struggle. Now it'll be a whole lot better this week. They're playing a Richmond team that's 1-1 that beat Wofford and lost to, who did they lose to? They beat Wofford and lost to Lehigh. I think the fans will pack Kenan Stadium this weekend to see the Richmond Spiders and the Tar Heels play.
Do you really think that the fans will come out? I'd have to question that a little bit. I don't know.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to give you 11 years of experience in Kenan Stadium. I'm going to say that's a no. They are not going to pack. And you may have been saying that facetiously.
You got it. That was sarcasm at its best. I can tell
I
you.
love it.
They will be lucky to have 35,000.
I mean, what's it going to be like when they're playing Clemson here in a few weeks?
Well, it's all going to be interesting. Those guys are good coaches, and they're going to get better as things move along. Yeah. But again, and Brew, Mike, I said this a week ago, and I say this all the time, and I'll be critical of myself. I am a damn hell of a lot better coach when I've got really good players. And you know what? Really good players make us all better coaches. I'm saying it in a little different way right now. Mm-hmm. I just don't know that when you turn over that many players and on a team, it's hard to develop continuity and it's hard to develop team spirit. And I don't care what anybody says, it still takes that to win games this day and time in college football. So whether they can develop that continuity in the next few weeks, because they go Richmond this week and then they go UCF before it gets a little bit tougher after that.
It's Tailgate 101 from the North Carolina Pork Council and the North Carolina Sports Network. I'm here with Roy Lee Lindsay. Those noon kickoffs, man, nobody likes them, but they make for great tailgates, especially breakfast food.
They do a lot of things. A noon kickoff, there are challenges with it. You got to get there early, but you do get your evening back. You can watch other games on TV in the evening, so it's not all a loss, if you will. But what do you do for that early tailgate? You don't have as much time to prepare, to cook, to whatever. So here's some simple things you can do. One, North Carolina is blessed with lots of good restaurants that feature breakfast. So think biscuits and bacon, biscuits and sausage and egg. You need one this morning?
Oh, I do.
Get started right away. But you can stop by, you can pick up biscuits and take with you. Those are easy to unwrap, easy to have. But if you want to make them yourself, go ahead and cook the biscuits. You can cook them the night before. You can take them to your tailgate, throw them on the grill just a little bit to warm them back up. It'll make them a little softer. You can get them hot again. Throw some bacon, throw some sausage on there. Again, you can pre-cook the sausage, throw it back on the grill to heat it back up, and easy to make biscuits, and you've got them. One of the things that I've always done for breakfast is burritos. Breakfast burritos are easy. You throw your skillet on top of your grill, you throw some eggs in there, some onions, some peppers, throw in some sausage and some bacon, and you've got an instant breakfast burrito. Tips for making burritos is you will always buy more tortillas than you think you need. And when you get there, you're always going to have tortillas left. I did it for 15 years, and we always brought tortillas, and we always took tortillas home. It never failed. We had more than we needed. So about half as many tortillas as what you think you need is what you really need for breakfast burritos. But breakfast is easy. And then when you come out of the game afterwards, you can throw something back on the grill and have an early supper, if you will.
That's great. And I know later in the day we'll eat barbecue, but at breakfast, you mentioned it. You can go sausage, you can go bacon, or you can go country ham. What's at Roy Lee's tailgate?
I'm a bacon and sausage guy, so that for me is where we're always going to go. Burritos I find to be easy because I can make a big batch of it for a large group of people, and then they can serve themselves as they go.
Get those NC pork burritos going. Bacon, sausage, you got it all, even country ham. It makes game days better, just like bacon.
Just like bacon.
Everything better. Roy Lee Lindsay and Mike Waddell here on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Brew, I'll give you the last word on Carolina as we head on to talk about Duke in our next segment. But about the Tar Heels, right now, this is a team that, again, we've said it a few times already in this show. 70 out of 105 players are new. There's not a lot of investment into the Tar Heel brand. At what point do guys start to look around the locker room and start to think about me instead of we?
You know, Mike, it's a great question, and it's one in which, I heard Mike Loxley say that he kind of lost his team, at Maryland. And right now, I think the best term to be used about North Carolina is they're in transition. They are in transition, and transition is hard. They don't have enough athletes. They don't have enough speed. You and I were we were a part of a media deal with it. It's a big man's game. Okay. Understand? I say it's a big man's game. O-line, D-line. Okay. Are they going to be able to dominate? And right now, I think North Carolina is 70 new players. Bottom line, 70 new players is only good as if there's 70 good players. Okay. If they're not good, they ain't good. But I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that it's going to take Carolina some time and it's going to take some time with the coaching staff to really get in sync, get on the same page, and get these kids to buy into what they're trying to teach them.
This has been Bold North State Football Daily, an exclusive presentation of the North Carolina Sports Network. Make sure you follow us on social media at the NC Sports Net, and check out our website that is wall-to-wall coverage of North Carolina sports at ncsportsnetwork.com. Our foundational partner is the North Carolina Port Council, raising the bacon, raising the bar. Telling the stories of the bold North State, this is the North Carolina Sports Network.